dismissing an underperforming employee. This is a tricky one, okay? Nobody wants to have to dismiss a member of their team, but I can guarantee there will be somebody in your business who is well, they probably come to mind as you're watching this video, okay? But they'll be constantly missing deadlines, they will not be communicating properly. It could just be their general behaviour around the office with colleagues. There will be something which is affecting their performance, and you need to make sure that you do something about it. You are in control as the employer, they are not in control of you. So it's time to move them on. They will be costing you money, they will be affecting your reputation with customers and in the market. They could be costing you other team members if this is impacting them. So it's really important that you take the bull by the horns and take some action. A couple of things before we get into the practical tips. Firstly, there will always be an element of risk when it comes to dismissal. I'd love to tell you if you do X, Y, and Z, that will be it, they'll be gone and there'll be no recourse. Unfortunately, our employment law system in the UK doesn't work that way. There's a lot of grey when it comes to employment law. So the best thing I can tell you to do is to get some advice. It doesn't have to cost you a lot of money. At the HR Consultants, we offer a completely free 15-minute advice call for employers. So book one of those because there are certain things like length of service, whether they have any protected characteristics, what conversations have happened so far about their performance. All of those things will go to determine how much risk there is attached to their dismissal. Ultimately though, if there is risk or bigger amounts of risk, it comes down to money. Okay, so you can still move them on, it just means you are likely to have to write a bigger check, but it's time to take action. So practically, it's time to book a meeting with them, okay? So make it towards the end of the day. They're going to have to, they're going today, right? They're going at that meeting. So you don't want them to have to do the walk of shame amongst everybody in the company. So if you can book that meeting when there's as few people around as possible, that would be best. If you can have somebody else in that meeting with you, a senior member of your team, somebody that can just witness the conversation to prevent, if it gets contentious, any he said, she said sort of issues. So if you can have somebody there as a witness, that would be useful. Ultimately, you get them into the meeting, you explain that this isn't the first conversation you've had about their performance, you have spoken on several occasions, and unfortunately, the issues have not been improved. You have exhausted all options in terms of support, development, training, hand-holding. There is nothing else that you can do to get them to where the organisation needs them. And so the fairest thing to happen next is for them to leave. That's what you need to say. They won't hear a lot that comes next, so you need to keep this as succinct as possible. There's no point going around houses and labouring over and over and over. You just need to get the next points out and get them out. So you will explain that they will be leaving today. They won't be required to work their notice. No good ever came of somebody doing any kind of handover or working their notice when they've been dismissed. It's not necessary. So you'll be paying them in lieu of their contractual notice. You'll be paying them in lieu of any accrued but unused holiday. And practically, you need to have somebody ready to remove access to systems, email, security passes, that sort of stuff. Make sure that happens quickly, because I have seen so many occasions where employers haven't done that quickly enough, and the disgruntled employee has gone off and caused quite a lot of harm. So make sure you do that. And then ultimately, that's it. You need to get any equipment and help them to, pack up their things and leave. I'm not pretending this is going to be easy, okay? It's not. It's never nice. But the impact, if you don't have this difficult conversation, will be far-reaching. So making sure that you get on with it and get on with it quickly is really important. These sorts of situations never get better, okay? I've been in HR for over 20 years. They never get better. If you have given somebody repeated chances and they are not doing what you need them to do, they're not going to. So it's fairest for everybody if they are moved on. Good luck. If you need any support, you know where we are.